But yeah, having a wounded inner child is a big deal. And it is a big deal because it stops you. It stops you from growing. It halts all potential. It halts all growth. Until we deal with the inner child, we are stuck in a loop. We're stuck in a cycle. We're stuck in a pattern. We are talking about how to heal your inner child. Now, a lot of us don't hear too much about this. When I was on my healing journey, I didn't hear too much about healing your inner child. That was something that I learned along the way. For many years, I did not even know what the inner child was. When people would talk about your inner child, I'm thinking maybe the person is childish. Maybe this person hasn't really gotten into their adulthood. But healing your inner child is necessary in order for you to become the woman that you want to be. A lot of times we go through a lot of different trials and tribulations, trauma, and all type of things. And what happens is a lot of us can stay trapped in our developmental years. So a lot of us are trapped in our 8-year-old mind, or we're trapped in our 15, 16-year-old mind, and we never really was able to get out of that situation or actually be released from that. Okay, so healing our inner child is very important. If you don't heal your inner child, you may be stuck. You may be stuck in a loop, or you may be stuck in a cycle. My name is Ahava. I am the owner of Black and Dainty. Black and Dainty is my ministry, my business, in which I teach a lot of things. So I teach etiquette classes, etiquette and mannerisms to women and girls. I host classes at libraries. I host classes, private classes as well for young girls. And also throughout the business, I also have an element of my business that's involved in image consulting. I teach etiquette and mannerism classes, and I also teach classes like this that deals with healing, okay? Because before you can think about, elevating your clothes, elevating your style, showing up in a certain type of way, we always have to get to the nitty-gritty. We have to get to the source. We have to get to the root. So I never want to forget that part as well in my business. So yes, I do a lot of glamorous things. We do makeup consultations. We do all types of things in Black and Dainty. However, I always bring everything back to the beginning. Where did all of this start? That ties into today's video, in which we're talking about how to heal the inner child, right? Where it all started. I talk a lot about survival mode. I talk a lot about building confidence, building self-esteem, getting out of situations, helping you to tap into your feminine energy. So I talk a lot about all of these things, but tonight we're going to talk about how to heal your inner child. So you guys might be like, what is your inner child? And why do we have to heal that? Like, we're not children anymore, we're adults. But what I would like to mention is that you can be 40 years old and still have a wounded inner child. And a wounded inner child shows up differently for every person. But we do know that having a wounded inner child prevents you from really tapping into the woman that you desire to be. Many of us are walking around as grown women carrying the wounds of a little girl who never got the love, safety, or affirmation they deserved. Okay? And I told you before, a lot of times what happens when we go through trauma and we don't deal with the trauma, we don't process the trauma properly, that's where we have a wounded inner child. We're going to also talk about what that looks like and how that shows up. What are some telltale signs to know if you have a wounded inner child within you? Okay. Yeah, having a wounded inner child is a big deal. And it is a big deal because it stops you. It stops you from growing, right? It halts all potential. It halts all growth, right? Until we deal with the inner child, we are stuck in a loop. We're stuck in a cycle. We're stuck in a pattern. And I want to help you get free tonight. Okay? I want to help you get free. Call me Harriet Tubman. I'm about to get free. So, what is your inner child? Your inner child is the emotional part of you that carries your earliest experiences, memories, beliefs, fears, and unmet needs. That's what your inner child is. It's the part of you that carries your emotions, right? It carries the earlier parts of your experience, things that happened to you when you were 3, 2, 7, 9, 11, 14, 15, all the way up into adulthood. Okay? These are the emotional parts of you that is you're carrying around, right? Your experiences, your memories, your beliefs, your fears, and your unmet needs. It's that little girl that is still within inside of you. So picture you with the open, if somebody was to cut you open and cut you straight down, you have a child within you. Those who are in the medical field, ignore that, because obviously we know that's not real. I'm just saying, like, think about that. But like, you have a child inside of you emotionally, right? Psychologically. And whether the inner child within you is healed or whether the inner child within you is unhealed, that is how you're going to show up based on that. If your inner child is unhealed, there are certain frequencies, there are certain mentalities, there are certain things that will trigger you, right? There are certain things that will identify that your inner child is unhealed, and vice versa. If you are healed and the inner child is healed, then there are some things that are going to be evident that that inner child in you is healed. The little girl within inside of you remembers what made her feel safe. She remembers what made her feel invisible. She remembers what made her feel rejected. She remembers what made her feel loved. And she remembers what made her feel like she had to grow up too fast. Your inner child remembers everything, okay? Even though you're an adult, sometimes it seems like that little girl responds. And that happens a lot too. So I do private coaching, I do one-on-one coaching sessions, and I've had a few clients over the years where the responses that I would get to certain questions made me realize that this person is operating out of a wounded inner child. When you have grown women who are having tantrums, when you have grown women who are physically grown on the outside, but inside they're pouting, or they're acting in a childish like ways, right? Maybe they're acting how a 5-year-old would act, or maybe they're acting how a 10-year-old or a 14-year-old girl would act. A lot of times this is because there is still a wounded little girl within. And until you heal the wounded girl within inside of you, you will not be that mature woman that you want to be. Why does this matter for Black women, right? Why does this matter? Many Black women were raised to be what? Resilient. Resilient. And there was a long time that I hated that word. That word resilience got on my nerves. Why? Because everywhere I go, or everywhere I went, everything that I've been through, people will always say, "Girl, you are so resilient." And I think I developed fatigue because I was tired of having to be resilient all the time. That happens a lot with us Black women, having to be resilient, having to bounce back after a derailment, after a bad breakup, after a divorce, having to start all over, press record, do it again, press repeat, rinse and wash. We have to keep doing it over, being resilient every time. I always say being resilient is a gift and it's a curse, because sometimes we are tired and we don't want to be resilient. We don't want to have to be resilient. We want to be soft. We want to be cared for. We want to be nurtured. We want to be loved. And what happens is we have to learn how to give those things to ourselves. And that is the way that we heal the inner child within us. So many Black women were raised to be resilient. We learned to be independent. We learned to be responsible. We learned to be and to stay quiet. We learned to put everyone else's needs above our own. We learned to push through the plan, right? Get to the finish line, get it done, make it happen. And we also learned to never let people see us cry. Those are things that we learned, right? We learned to be independent. A lot of people say, oh, Black women are so independent. No, we learned that. That was something that was put upon us. We learned to be responsible. When I was 6 years old, 7 years old, I was already taking care of my 1 month old cousins, right? I was taking care of little babies. And it just makes me feel some type of way like now that I'm older, because I have a daughter who's 11, and I could never leave her with somebody else's infant child and like go out and party or go out to the store and be for certain and for sure that that child would be safe. But with me, when I was growing up back in the 80s, okay, my my family just intrinsically knew that the child would be safe with me. And they were able to leave me with multiple children, my cousins, my uncle, my aunts, just leaving me taking care of the children while they would go out, and they would give me a little bit of money when they returned. They would give me a little, a little $20, a little $10, a little, $15. And yeah, I will watch the kids, but that also brings me to the point of us having to be responsible, us having to carry the burdens of other people. I didn't have any children at 6 and 7 and 8. Why should I have to take care of a responsibility that you and your wife decided on on your own? So that's a big thing too. A lot of us were pushed into being responsible children. A lot of us were latch and key kids, right? We would go out, go to school, and by the time we come back, nobody would be home. So we would have the keys to the house, and your mom would be expecting you to go in the house, possibly, put your books away, take a bath, change your school clothes, do your homework, and then also probably make dinner too. You know what I mean? It's a big responsibility for a child. That is a big responsibility for a child. And I personally do not think the children of this day and age will ever understand that type of upbringing or uprearing, because a lot of them aren't that responsible, right? A lot of children this age, and I'm just talking about collectively, we do have our little, pockets. My kids are very responsible, and they know how to cook and clean and all those type of things as well. However, as a collective, I don't think that this generation would even take that. They would be like, that's not my child. What do you mean, watch your child, mom? Like not this generation. The former generation, yes, but this generation, they are different. Okay, they are very different. And we talked about how we have learned to be independent. We've learned to be responsible, to stay quiet. We learned to put everyone else's needs before our own. And we learn also to push through pain. Even if we're hurting, even if we're in some type of pain, we've learned to just push through it, just get through it, just get to tomorrow. Just wait. It's okay. Everybody else has to do it. Your mom did it. Grandma did it. Great grandma did it. So now it's your turn to push through the pain. And that's something that I reject wholeheartedly. And I believe that this particular generation just ain't that generation where we're going to be handed the baton of pain and be handed the baton of disrespect from our our mothers and our grandmothers. We are rejecting every type of passed downage of nonsense. And I love that for us, because a lot of times we are expected to do what our ancestors done, right? We are expected to go through things and to push through and to force ourselves and to make it happen. And a lot of us are rejecting that because we are putting ourselves first, and grandma didn't do that. We are putting ourselves first, and auntie didn't do that. We are putting ourselves first, and maybe your mother didn't do that. This is a new breed. This is a new type of situation where we are not allowing ourselves to go down that same path, and we are learning to heal the inner child within us so that we can be the mature, the wise, the feminine woman that we desire to be. All right? If this is you, clock it. Okay? Clock it. I want to talk about the signs your inner child needs to be healed, because sometimes we don't even know that we are in something like a survival mode. We've heard that before, we've heard the terms, but a lot of times we don't associate or we don't know what the signs are. So if you say, for instance, you are at a stop sign or you're at a traffic signal and you see colors, but you don't know what those colors mean. You don't know that green means go. You don't know that yellow means slow down. You don't know that red means stop. So what will you do? Right? That happens too when it comes to us not being aware or not being conscious of some of the things that are happening in our lives, and we feel like everything is just happening to us. And 9 times out of 10, I like to give you guys the signs and the symptoms so that you can be aware, because awareness is everything. I always say, in order to heal something in you, you have to acknowledge that it exists. So if you don't acknowledge that you are me and I am you, or if you do not acknowledge that this is what you're going through, then you can't heal it. So, ladies, let's talk about some signs that your inner child needs to heal. Number one, you constantly seek validation. You're always looking for somebody to validate you. Your dressing is for validation. Your clothing choices are for validation. Your what you choose to eat is for validation, right? Those are the type of women who just need praise. They need eyes. They need people to tell them you're so beautiful. They need women to big them up out, when they're on the street, big up, big up. Like, they need you to validate them. They won't even go after their dreams because they need somebody to tell them that it's okay for them to go after their dreams. And a lot of times, again, this is because you have a inner child that is suffering. The second one is that you struggle to trust people. You struggle to trust people. Around you, everybody's the enemy. Okay, everybody's the enemy. Everybody's looking to do you bad. Everybody is a something around you, okay? You don't trust people. You don't trust men. You don't trust relationships. You don't trust anything. You don't trust nobody. And it's hard to live like that, because at the end of the day, we are going to need each other more than we think. And if we don't learn how to trust people, but also how to vet people, because of course we cannot be unwise to trust just any old body, right? We can't just be trusting anybody off the street. No, that is not wise. But we can vet people. We can get to know people. We can ask questions to get to know them. We can be prayerful, right? We can, because the Bible even talks about how don't be too quick to call a friend a friend. And that's the biggest thing right there. Don't be too quick to call a friend your friend, because you never know what somebody is thinking. You never know what their intentions are towards you until time tells. And then you're like, wow, I didn't even know she could do such a thing. Time tells all when it comes to vetting people. Normally, when a woman's inner child is wounded, she doesn't trust anybody. She don't trust anybody. She don't even trust herself, honestly. She don't even trust herself. Another way to know that a woman's inner child is wounded is that you fear abandonment. You fear being left, right? You fear being left. You fear of being abandoned. You stay in relationships way longer than you should because you don't want to be left. You don't want this person to leave you, because if this person leaves you, now you have to deal with your own self. You have to deal with yourself. You have to deal with your broken inner child on your own. So you fear being alone. You fear being alone. Another thing is you people please. Women who have inner childhood wounds, they tend to people please. They are the yes woman, right? They are the yes, I got it. Yes, I can do that. Yes, absolutely. Sure. You need me to come in? I'll come in on my day off. Oh, you need me to do overtime? Sure. However, you know that you physically are suffering from doing that thing, right? It's hurting you more than it's hurting them when you say yes. That's another thing to look out for. If you're always trying to people please, you want to make everybody around you happy while simultaneously you are hurting and harming your own self. That is a sign that your inner child, the little girl within, is hurting. Another sign is that you apologize for everything. You apologize for everything. You think that everything is your fault. And you are quick to apologize. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Sorry. Sorry. One thing that I despise, okay, is when I see this in play in like in the wild, in real life, where maybe I'm walking past somebody and maybe we don't touch or we don't, collide, but we like kind of brush past or we're very close and they're like, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, girl, what are you sorry about? It's okay. Like, you're good. You're good. I don't like that. It does something to me because I'm like, why are you so sorry? What happened? You didn't do nothing. It's okay. Give me a hug. Like, give me a hug, girl. Don't be out here sorry and sorry. Do you guys remember that movie, the Tyler Perry movie when Janet Jackson was in? Is that Why Did I Get Married? Is that the movie? When she was talking about her husband, when they were having that scene when she found out her husband was actually uh how do I say this without getting banned? He was he was exposed to have been with men. Okay, so he was with men. He's a man, he's been with men, okay? And he was basically saying he was sorry. And then she was like, keep your sorry. Keep your sorry. You're always sorry. If I had all your sorries and put them together and that's how I feel when I hear if you guys saw the movie, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's how I feel when I hear women just overly sorry, like as if you're saying that you're sorry for existing. You're sorry for being. You're sorry for taking up space. And that's one thing that I had to work with my daughter as well, because my daughter is very kind-hearted like I was when I was her age, right? She's very kind-hearted, she's very tender-hearted, she's very intuitive, she's very girly girl, right? And she's very in tuned, with people around her. And I remember her just a few days ago when people were like walking towards us, and I had to learn this too. And I think you ladies on TikTok know what I'm talking about. When somebody is walking towards you, you're walking towards them and nobody wants to budge. Like nobody wants to kind of skeet out of the way to give the other person leadway. And basically y'all about to just collide like a sandwich or something like that. But like my daughter would be like, oh, I'm sorry. Like she's dodging people. And I was like, hey. No, don't do that. You are worthy to be here. You deserve to be walking on the side of this here sidewalk here. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. You are worthy to walk here. Just because you see somebody walking, you don't have to hurry up and move out the way to give them leeway. You deserve to be on this sideway as well. Let them move. Let them move. Let them move. And that's the energy of all 2026, because you have to understand we were taught as Black women to honor other people above ourselves. We were taught to think that we have to shift and we have to move when a certain demographic of people are approaching us. We got to move. We got to get them out the way. And you know where that comes from. Y'all know where that comes from. And that's something that we have to dismantle from our psyche, having to shift and move out of people's way, because obviously we don't belong there, but we do. Take up space, sis. Take up space, sis. Don't keep ducking and dodging and moving and shifting and shucking and jiving, trying to get out of people's way. I belong here. And that's why a lot of people don't like me. Because the way that's why a lot of people don't like me. Because I'm not moving. I'm not shifting. I belong here just as much as you belong here. And a lot of people are not used to Black women holding their heads up high. They're not used to seeing Black women not shifting and not jiving and not laughing, overly laughing or performing. I am not a jester. I'm not performing for anybody. It is what it is. And I speak from my heart and I speak my truth. And a lot of people do not like that. They hate that. They hate to see a Black woman come in that knows who she is. They hate to see a Black woman coming that is not going to be seeking the approval of others. They hate that. Oh, whew. Oh no. They hate that to the core. Anyway, let's keep moving on. So we talked about what the expectation is when somebody is living from their wounded inner child. We talked about some of the signs that your inner child needs healing. We talked about you always constantly seek validation. You struggle with trusting people. You constantly seek validation. I said that. You feel abandoned, right? You people please. You're always trying to please the other person. You're always trying to make sure that everybody else around you is good while you yourself are not good. You apologize for everything, okay? You struggle with boundaries, setting boundaries, telling people no. Okay, you don't believe you are enough. You don't believe that you yourself intrinsically are enough. You feel responsible for everyone else's happiness. All right? And you have difficulty receiving love or even compliments. And I know this to be true for a lot of us Black and brown women. A lot of us struggle with receiving compliments. And that's why when a man gives us a compliment, we're like smitten. We're like, oh, like we're not cute until he says we're cute. And that means that there's a lot of inner work that has to be done, because if you're cute, you're cute. You don't have to wait for somebody to validate your fineness. When you looked in the mirror, you saw that you were fine and you said, I'm fine, and you're fine. You don't have to wait until somebody gives you the okay in order for you to believe that you are worthy, in order for you to believe that you are enough. You have to tell yourself that every single day. You have to believe that deep down in your soul. And when you believe that, it's not a lot that people can do with you when you already know who you are. And I love that about myself, because once you know who you are, you don't need nobody to tell you anything. Because anything that you're saying, it could be a full stop lie. Because I already know who I am. I don't need you to tell me anything. I know who I am. And I know my flaws. And I know that I'm not perfect. But I know I have a good heart. And I know that I'm kind to people. And I know that I know my purpose, and I know what I'm doing here. All right. So I don't need anybody to kudos me or to big me up, because a lot of times when you are a pretty woman, let's talk about that. When you are a pretty woman and when you are a beautiful woman, people don't want to make things easy for you because they already think that you already have an easy life. I've learned this lesson the hard way. Okay. I've learned this lesson the hard way. When you are a pretty woman and you are a pretty Black woman, and then also add on top of that, you are a pretty dark-skinned Black woman, oh, ain't nobody making nothing easy for you. They want you to suffer. Okay, they want you to suffer, because why are you out here looking cute? Who raised you? Who raised you? Look at you feeling yourself. We did so much damage to y'all's communities, other people. We did so much damage to y'all's community. How did you escape through the cracks with your self-esteem intact? We've been telling you your lips were too big, your nose is too big, your eyes is too far apart, your hair is too nappy for over 20 generations. And y'all actually loving your hair now? Like you're actually loving your nose now? You actually got other people trying to get your lips now? Who told y'all that? That's deep. That's deep. Because I remember growing up, we was the big lip girls. We was the big, what? You got big lips. Your nose is wide. You too dark. You a darkie. Your hair is nappy and it's short. Look at me now, boo-boo. Look at me now, boo-boo. It ain't that no more, huh? We covered it around the world. Everybody wants to get our body type. Everybody wants to have our skin tone. Everybody wants to have our hair. Everybody wants to have our eyes. Everybody wants to have our nose. They try to do the Uno reverse. So you have to know who you are. You have to love who you are. You have to accept who you are. A lot of times people will tell you the opposite so that you can feel bad about yourself, and they come in and swoop and they want to beat you. They want to live in your skin. Ain't happening, Jack. Ain't happening. All right, so let me stop playing with y'all. You can tell we have fun on our coaching sessions, okay? We have real fun on our private coaching sessions. If you are struggling, ladies, in this particular area, and you feel like I'm speaking directly to you, is probably because I am. It's probably because I am, and you may need to heal the inner girl within you. I want you to go ahead and click wherever on the screen where you see it says one-on-one coaching. Go ahead and book a coaching session when you have an hour to spare throughout your day this week or next week, so that we can talk more in depth about your situation and how to get you out and how to get your inner child to where she needs to be, healthy, happy, and loved. There's some inner work that needs to be done. There's some questions that need to be asked, and there are some prayers that need to go up. Okay, there's a lot that need to happen in order for you to get that inner child back to where she is in a healed space, and then you can possibly move on from the cycles that you've been finding yourself in. I would love to speak with you. I have a few sessions open, so I would say grab it while you can, if you know that I'm speaking to you directly. Childhood messages that still affect you. Childhood messages that still affect you. Let me know if this is you in the comments. Hey guys, how are you? Those who are coming in and you're like, who is this beautiful brown skinned girl talking here on this live? What is she talking about? Is she talking to me? Is she not? My name is Ahava. I am an etiquette coach. I teach etiquette. I teach building self-esteem. I teach building self-confidence. I also teach women how to get out of survival modes. I also teach young girls these things as well, and I package it in a way that they can understand. I deal with girls 10 years old up to the age of 17. We talk about how to set tables. We talk about how to maintain your body. We talk about good touch, bad touch. We talk about how to say no. We talk about building self-confidence, all types of things. Okay, so this is what I do, and I just recently brought these particular things on live so that I can talk to you. Childhood messages that still affect us. Number one, maybe you heard things like this: children should be seen and not heard. How many of your households have said that to you? Growing up in the Black household, how many of you have heard that phrase from your mom, from your grandma, from your aunt? Children are to be seen and not heard. Or if you didn't hear that one, y'all, maybe you heard something like this: stop crying. Stop crying all the time. Stop that crying. Or maybe you've heard this: you better be strong. You better suck it up. Maybe your mom said something like that: suck it up, be strong, stop that crying. Crying all the time ain't gonna solve nothing. Be strong. Maybe you've heard this. Maybe you was in the store, you was outside, and you was having an emotional breakdown, and your mom whispered in your ear and she said, you better stop embarrassing me. You better stop embarrassing me. Yeah. Maybe that was you and your mom said that to you. Because that's a good one. That's a real Black mom statement right there. You better stop embarrassing me out here. Take you to that bathroom. If you are a Black woman, I know you heard this. I know you heard this. Your mom said, money don't grow on trees. Money don't grow on no trees. No, you can't have that. Mom, can I have? No. What you think? Money grow on trees? It don't. This is the last one. Maybe you've heard this one. Nobody is coming to save you. You on your own. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You better figure it out. So whatever phrase you've heard, if you see yourself in it, and the funny thing is, I heard pretty much all of these phrases. I've heard all of them at some point or another, whether it was my mom or a friend's mom or somebody else Black mom. I heard all of these phrases. So these messages becomes belief systems, y'all. When you are repeatedly hearing things over and over and over and over again as a child, some of these things convert into what you believe. So what happens if you believe that money doesn't grow on trees? You start to build a money mindset that is based on poverty. Money is scarce. That's what you'll start thinking. Money is scarce. It doesn't grow on trees. Money is not here. It's not something that I can attain. Okay. Or maybe you heard, don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me out here in these streets. What you internalize as a child is that you are an embarrassment. You start believing that you are actually not worthy. You are an embarrassment. That's what you start believing. That's why we have to learn to undo some of these things with our children. That's why I teach young girls so many different things, because if I don't teach them, a lot of times they would never hear They would never hear that they are enough. Nobody is out there telling Black girls that, hey, you are worthy. Your body is your body. Don't let don't let nobody touch on your body. No good touch and bad touch. Know how to identify when when things are happening with you. Know how to speak up for yourself. A lot of people are not teaching these young girls this, and what happens is the cycle continues. Okay, so I'm here to break cycles. I've always been a cycle breaker. I've always been the one that was going to be the one who broke the cycles. Okay, and I'm here to do that. That is my calling, that is my job, that is my duty, and that is what I love doing. I'm a cycle breaker. Are you a cycle breaker too? Am I talking to cycle breakers in here? All right, now. I have a few questions for y'all, okay? And I'm gonna go through this really quick because I don't have a lot of time to be on here like I normally do at night. But I'm gonna ask you guys some reflection questions so you can think about this. These are questions that you can think about on your own free will at your own time. Okay. Question number 1. What did I need as a little girl that I've never received? Question number 2. When did I first start believing that I wasn't enough? When did I first start believing that I was not enough? Question number 3. Did I feel emotionally safe growing up? Did I feel emotionally safe growing up? Yes or no? Okay. And you don't have to answer these. These are pretty personal questions. You don't have to answer these in the chat, but just answer them at your own time. Was I praised only when I achieved something in your childhood? Were you praised only when you achieved something? Only when you got straight A's were you praised? Only when you accomplished some sort of thing? Only when you got a trophy for sports? Were you only praised when you achieved something? And the last question is, was I allowed to express my emotions when I was growing up? Was I allowed to express my emotions when I was growing up? Yes or no? So y'all, these are the type of questions. These are the type of questions that really get deep and to help you to undo some of the damage that was done. I always say that we don't leave this earth unscathed. We all have trauma. We all have drama. We all have trauma. We all have things that we've experienced. It might not look the same for everybody, but we all have things that that traumatized us. Whether you have a 2-parent household or whether you were born in a single mother or a single father household, we all have trauma. And until we recognize what type of trauma and where the trauma came in at and how the trauma is showing up in your life, it's going to be very difficult for you to be the whole woman that you want to be. A lot of us are still fragmented women. A lot of us are still brokenhearted from a relationship, from a marriage, from our fathers, maybe leaving the mothers and leaving and deciding not to be in your life. A lot of us are still longing for fathers when our fathers haven't been in our lives since we were younger. A lot of us are just wanting love. A lot of us are craving that love. And this is what you have to give yourself. This is what you have to learn how to give yourself, because the love that you're looking for, you're an adult now. The love that you were looking for when you were 5, the love that you were looking for from a father when you were 10, 11, 12, that love is a different type of love. But the love that you need now is the love that you give yourself. It's the love that you give to yourself. All right, so you can heal that broken part in you. You just have to identify how it's showing up in your life and where did it enter? When did it enter? When did this happen? What happened to you? Okay. So we're going to talk about what healing looks like. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part because now we talked about the drama. We talked about the trauma. We talked about what it looks like when the little girl is broke within inside of you. However, what does it look like when you're fully healed? When the little girl within you is healed and she's whole and she's happy? What does that look like? All right, let's talk about it. So healing doesn't erase your past, okay? We have to understand that everybody has a past. You healing doesn't negate the past that you have experienced, but healing does change your relationship with your past, okay? Healing looks like boundaries. Healing looks like learning to trust yourself. Healing that inner child within looks like resting without guilt. You ain't feeling guilty because you want to take a nap or because you want to rest. Healing looks like speaking kindly to yourself. it looks like giving yourself the affirmations that you need to hear. All right. Healing looks like letting yourself cry. Don't think that you're above a good cry, because crying is cleansing. I've cried a lot of times. I'll cry over the littlest things. Why? Because I'm so emotional and I'm so connected to my emotions. All right? So crying is a good thing. Let it out. Let it go. Release it. Release it. Healing looks like choosing healthy relationships. Healing looks like saying no without apologizing. Girl, no is a complete sentence. That's it. That's all. No, and it's no. And it's still going to be no today, tomorrow, the next day, the next week, the next month, and the next year, and the next century, the next. A no is a no. Just like a win is a win, a no is a no. And we have to learn how to say no more. And we learn how to say no based on what we want and what we don't want. Once you are clear about your boundaries, once you are clear about what your goals are and what you want, it's very easy to say no to the things that don't align with that, y'all. So that is what healing looks like. When your inner child is healed, when your inner child is healthy, when your inner child is thriving, you'll be able to do these things. You'll be able to rest without guilt. You'll learn to trust yourself again. You'll learn to set boundaries and say no. You'll learn to stop people pleasing. So let's talk about ways for you to start your healing journey. Start healing the little girl within. She is crying, she is hurt, and she wants to heal. She wants to be happy, right? This is how you're going to do it. Number 1, reparent yourself. Reparent yourself. Reparenting yourself, it looks like asking yourself, what would I say to little me today? If you don't have a daughter, right? Because I have a daughter, so I'm able to do this. But what would I say to the little version of me today? What would I say to her? Would I be kind or would I be mean to her? What would I say to her? Give yourself the love. Give yourself the patience. Give yourself the encouragement. Give yourself the protection that you may not have gotten before. Give it to yourself now. If you didn't feel protected when you were little, protect yourself now. If you didn't feel like you had the encouragement that you deserved when you were little, give that to yourself now. Encourage yourself. Number 2, journal. Journal. Journaling has honestly transformed my life tremendously. Journaling is one of those things where you might not think it's such a big deal, but journaling helps you to take things out of your head and placing them somewhere safe. A lot of times we are stressed and we are in critical situations because we just got too much going on in our minds. Journaling helps us to relieve ourselves of those things and get it out of your mind. So tell the little girl within you in a journal that I am proud of you. Tell her that you love her. Tell her that you didn't deserve what happened to you. Okay? Oh my gosh, this is going to make me cry, y'all. I feel the tears coming. Tell her that you did not deserve what happened to you. Tell her that she's safe now. Tell that little girl, you are safe with me. You are safe now. Tell her that I will protect you. I will protect you. So that's important, y'all. Oh, I'm trying to hold it back because that's so beautiful to be able to tell that little girl within you, hey, listen, I know you wasn't protected before. They played in your face when you were younger. They didn't treat you how you were supposed to be treated, but I'm going to do that right now for you. And that's how you heal the little girl within. Number 3, give yourself what you need. Give yourself what you need. Stop waiting for somebody to come in and to rescue you from situation, from circumstance. Give yourself what you need. You need a hug, give it to yourself. Give it to yourself. Whatever you need, give that to yourself. Stop waiting for people to do for you what you can do for yourself. Give that to yourself. If the little girl needs encouragement, encourage yourself. If the little girl within needs affection, be affectionate to yourself. If the little girl within needs self-compassion, give that to yourself. If that little girl within you, if she needs anything, if she needs rest, give that to yourself. Stop just pushing for the sake of pushing. Pushing because your auntie pushed. Pushing forward because your grandma pushed. Having to push through things because you saw your mother do it. You can change the trajectory of your entire life by making a choice that you don't want your life to be like that, because all you have to do is look at the fruit that came from the tree to determine if that's the kind of seed you want to plant. Do y'all get what I'm putting down? If you don't like the fruit that the tree is bearing, why would you then take the seed from that tree and try to reproduce that tree? Cut the tree down. Start over. Plant something else. If you don't like the way your mother's life has shaped out, then don't take your mother's advice when it comes to certain things, because the fruit that she's bearing is not the fruit that you want to bear. She's bearing oranges, you want to bear mangoes. If you don't like the way somebody's life is shaped out, and this is no judgment to anybody. You know, we love our mothers. My mother's passed away, so I'm very connected to when it comes to mothers, and I am a mother, okay? If you don't like the fruit that the tree is bearing, if you don't like the way somebody's life is shaped out, do not model your life after that person's life. Create a new script. Create a new timeline. Decide what you want your life to be and start following that plan. You don't have to inherit the bad things that was passed down to you. You can reject it entirely and create a new life for yourself, y'all. I've done it. Okay? Step number 4, stop speaking to yourself like your biggest critic. One thing about us is we can be our biggest enemies. We can be the biggest mean girls to ourselves because of the way that we talk to ourselves. That inner dialogue is a serious work. Like, it's serious business, okay? And sometimes we need to tell that inner dialogue to shut up. Girl, shut up. Shut up. What are you talking about? I'm not enough. Shut up. I am enough. This is the conversations that we need to be having with ourselves. Reminding ourselves that we are enough. Reminding ourselves that we are worthy every single day, because so many factors on the outside are telling us the opposite message. Your boss is telling you opposite. Your boss is saying that you are only worthy of this paycheck that I'm giving you. You are worthy of $10.99. You are worthy of $15. You are worthy, and that's not true. Don't let somebody put a number on you. You know that you're worthy. You get to choose what your worth is and how much your worth is to you. Don't let anybody try to diminish your worth and diminish your value and tell you how valuable, yeah, tell you how valuable you are to the marketplace. Don't let nobody tell you that, because they're going to devalue you every single time. Everybody likes a bargain. Everybody likes a discount. But there are some things that are not discountable. There are some things in life that you don't get to discount, and that's us. That's the Black woman. You don't get to discount us. Now, if you have other preferences, kudos to you, but we know our worth here. And we are reclaiming our worth. We are reclaiming who we are. And you can like it or you cannot like it. It's up to you. But we have to know who we are. We have to know that we are the greatest thing that happened to this planet. The Black woman and the Black man. The greatest thing. There's no place on this earth that does not want to be like an African-American man or African-American woman. Whether they like it or not, whether they agree with it or not, it is the truth. Every country, even the most remote village in Africa or the remote place in the world, once they see us, they want to be us. And it is what it is. Because we're great. We're beautiful. We're great. We're intelligent. We're inventors. We're healers. We're protectors. We're all these things. Okay. The last one is you have to find joy. You have to find your joy. Find your spark again. Healing isn't only about processing your pain. It's also about rediscovering joy. Okay? And I feel like with that, a lot of times we've lost that. We've lost our whimsy. And that's so sad to me, because as a person who is neurodivergent and probably autistic as well, one thing I will never let this earth have is my whimsy. My whimsy is mine. My whimsy is mine. I was driving in my car today and I was blasting like some of the oldie songs from the 90s. I was blasting one of our hold on. All right. So one of our favorite songs, me and my kids, and this song is kind of inappropriate, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know why they like it. But it's that song called Touch Me Screams by Case. Kiss me and caress me, hold me tight and don't let go. Baby, I'm about to explode. Like we be my love you can control. Like that is my song. But when that song comes on, my whimsy be whimsying. Like I be in that car dancing so bad because that's just who I am. And then I see other people and I'm so saddened because a lot of people have really lost their whimsy. A lot of people have lost their spark. They've lost their joy. They lost their contentment. Why? Because they're not living the lives that they really want to live. And a lot of times that is true because they haven't decided what type of life they want to live. One thing about us, y'all, we are big manifestors. Being children of God, we are big manifestors, big manifest energy. Okay. If you want to change your life, you can. If you want to live a totally different timeline, you can. If you want to say, I no longer want to live in this state, I want to live in this state, you can make that happen tomorrow. Okay. And so I am a big believer in changing timelines. I'm a big believer in shifts and seasons and timing, right? Things happen in timing and seasons. You can be in a rut season and then tomorrow you can be in a brand new season and everything is just going well for you. That all has to do with you making a choice. You can decide that I'm done with this season. I'm done with feeling sad. I'm done with being in survival mode. I am done with going to this job. And what happens next is you start calling in the things that you want. So we know what you don't want. You don't want to work a 9-to-5. You don't want to be a single mom anymore. Maybe you desire to be married. You don't want to live in the city or state or country that you are currently living in. What do you need to do? You need to start opening up your mind and expanding your mind and seeing what country do you want to live in. Maybe you want to live in Thailand. You see a lot of women are traveling. You see women are just getting up and being able to travel. If that's what you want, you need to make it known. You need to make it known. You need to say, this is what I want. This is what I want. I want this. You need to write it in a journal. You need to start researching those places where you do want to go, making a bucket list. That's when you start manifesting the things that you want. So stop focusing on what you don't want and start focusing on and being very intentional about what you do want. That's how you get to a place where you find your joy. By doing the things that you love. Not having to work hard for paycheck to paycheck and still not be enough. That's not what you want to do. What would you rather be doing? Start looking into those things. What would you rather do? Okay, you don't want to work a 9-to-5. What would you rather do? What do you want to do? You want to be an entrepreneur? You want to own your own business? You want to start a new service? You want to just be a traveler? Maybe you want to homeschool your kids. The public school system is terrible. It's trash. I gave my kids to the public school system last year for the first time in a long time because I homeschooled my kids before, but I was getting ready to go to nursing school. Okay. So I was like, okay, gotta go to school. Mommy gotta go to school. Y'all have to go to school. Put them in, our local school district, our local school in our state. Trash. Kids came out, I could not even recognize them. Attitudes are different. Mannerisms are different. Just so many negative things. And I was like, oh no, I was just joking with y'all. Give me my kids back. I got it. I got it from here. Y'all got it. Undefeated. School system undefeated in destroying our kids. Okay. Undefeated. Okay. Give me them kids back. I got it. I got it from here. And I'm homeschooling. So what do you want to do? What do you want to do? This is your life. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your season. What do you want to do? Be very clear about what you want and start doing that. It's that simple, y'all. Really, it's that simple. I even talked about earlier how I just left my home state and moved to another state in the course of one day. I made a decision one night. The next night I moved. The next night, like the next day, I was already driving. We were doing a road trip because I was doing like world school with my kids. So we were going from state to state to state discovering all the museums, discovering like everything that state had to offer. We would go and do all types of things, and that's how we learned. Okay. And so one day I was at a place. I don't want to tell you where I was because I told you guys already, but I was at a place and I wrote on a board, I want to go to these places. This is where I want to go. Okay. And by the next day, circumstances happened by which I was able to do that day. So I got in the car, I filled my tank with gas, made sure we had our Chick-fil-A on deck, got some food, and we started driving, headed towards that destination that I put on the board the day before, y'all. Within a certain amount of hours, we were in a whole new timeline. Yo, we were in a whole new timeline. We were in a whole new city, a whole new state, a whole new situation, whole new timeline, different type of people, different accents, different everything. And it all happened in a day. So ladies, if y'all think this can't happen for you, I'm here to tell you that it can. You can be on a whole different timeline within a day. This is a accelerated season. A lot of things that take a long time to happen are happening overnight. Get into July. July is Julying for real. Like, it's literally speeding up. Blessings are pouring. It is speeding up. Things are happening fast. So all you have to do is just be very clear about what you want. And that's it. Be clear, determine what you want, and only focus on that. And it will happen for you. I believe it will happen for you. Healing isn't only about processing pain, it's also about rediscovering your joy, okay? So now you got to dance more, color more, read more, get into some fantasy books and get your mind to escape to another world, okay? Go to a park. Buy yourself some flowers. I love fresh flowers. I can't talk right now. I love fresh flowers, okay? Buy yourself some flowers. Laugh. Put something funny on. Kevin Hart does it for me every time. Put something funny on where you can just do that gut laugh where you're just laughing, you just snotting because it was so funny. Put something on like that makes you laugh. Play with your kids. Be joyful with them. Wrestle them. Play around. Play hide and go seek. Be joyful. Your little girl within deserves joy. Okay? So does the grown woman in you deserve joy as well? So I want to close, okay, with this, guys. I want every woman to listen and remember this. Remember this, okay? Your younger self deserves love. She deserves protection. She deserves to feel safe. She deserves to be heard, okay? She deserves to be celebrated. She deserves, even if she doesn't receive all of these things, you have the opportunity today to become the woman she needed. Healing is possible, not because your story didn't hurt, but because your story doesn't have to end there. Before I close, I have an offer for you guys. You guys are listening to me. I love that for you. However, now it's time to take action. We can talk all day long. We can talk about what we're going to do. This can be very entertaining for you. Kudos for me for keeping you guys here. I love that for me. But this is time to do the work. You have to do the work in order to make the changes happen. I have something that I think is going to help you. All right. This is going to help you to continue your healing journey, healing that little girl within. I created, and I'm currently creating, a survival mode journal. And this is for women who are ready to stop carrying the weight and the burden of yesterday and begin to creating a life that is rooted in peace, rooted in self-awareness, and rooted in healing, guys. So inside, you'll find guided prompts. You'll find reflection exercises in there. You'll find space to process your emotions, and you'll find a lot in there. I also have included some videos as well where you can, in the journal, you can you can barcode, right? Scan the barcode and you'll have the videos to go along with the journal prompts, okay? So I'll be speaking to you as well. The journal The questions will be speaking to you as well. And it's also very interactive for you to write down your emotions and thoughts inside the journal. So these journals are ready for pre-sale. Pre-sale is already on currently right now. Today, you can purchase the journal and they will be released early. For those who purchase now, you'll get your journal 3 days early than everybody else. The journals are launching on August 1st. That's when everybody gets them. But if you purchase yours now, you'll be able to get yours in July. You'll be able to get yours July 28th, okay? So July 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. You got yours 4 days before everybody else gets theirs. If you would like to purchase yours, please go to my website, blackanddainty.com. Black, BLACK, and AND, Dainty, DAINTY.com. And all you got to do when you get to there, forget all the wonderful stuff that's there, because I know the website is amazing. Go to the tab at the top where it says B&D Shop. That's Black and Dainty Shop, B&D Shop. Click on that. The first thing that you will see are the opportunity to buy the planners, the journals at the very top. All right. And I want you to work on your healing. If this is your season and you know that this video spoke to you and you feel like this is me, I'm ready to shift timelines, I'm ready to make some changes in my life, and I need help to process that, these journals are here for that reason. It is what I use to get out of poverty. It's what I use to get out of survival mode. It's what I use to help heal my inner child within. I'm a person who has been through a lot. I'm a woman who's been through a lot, although I don't look like it. I've been through a lot, and I use journaling as a way to get out, to process, to analyze, and to heal. Okay, so these journals are available. They are $29.95. Go and get your pre-order version of the journal. You'll have it on July 28th. You'll have it. I'll send it to your emails. You will have it, and you can start working on it. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We are on here live at 5 every single day except for Saturdays. This has been a conversation about healing your inner child as a Black woman and how important that is for us to be able to really embody being a woman, right? It's hard to be a woman when you're still dealing with childish ways and childish ways of thinking, okay? So we have to be able to put the childish ways away, and we have to make sure she's healed and she's good, and then we can start developing the woman side of us, all right? So if you want to know more about Black and Dainty and some of the things that we offer, visit our website, blackanddainty.com. We have a lot to offer you guys. We have classes coming up. For the month of August, I will be doing live etiquette demonstrations, okay? So I'll teach you guys how to set up a table properly, how to beautify your home with certain decors. It's getting ready to be fall. That is my season, okay? That is my season. But besides for spring, it's fall for me every single time, because I love the winter color, the fall colors, the burgundies, the browns, the oranges, the greens. That is my time. So if you want to learn how to beautify your home, I'm going to be doing live demonstrations. You'll be able to come and see me on live and come and see how to properly set up a table, how to properly eat, how to identify which spoon is the solid spoon and which fork is the solid fork, and what's the butter knife, and what's the all of these things, okay? So I'm going to be teaching you that live here on TikTok in August. So if that is something that you feel excited for, then make sure that you go ahead and follow me, because we're going to be doing a lot. I'm going to make sure that everything that I know, that I'm giving it to you guys. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your presence here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. All right. Love you guys.